Good afternoon. Today is Monday, February 22nd, 2016, and this is a meeting of the Neom Human Rights Commission. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And the first thing on the agenda is approval of the February 22 today's agenda. Does anybody have any additions or anything to add to the agenda? So can I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion.
Any seconds?
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next, if everybody had a chance to look at the January 25th minutes, I would like to get a motion to approve them.
Approved.
Okay. A second?
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next thing, the Minnesota League of Human Rights Commission has the dues for this year have been paid. They requested our information about who's in the commission and all that stuff. But more important, they asked how they can best serve local commission. How can they can best serve us? At the end, and I don't think this was included in the package you guys sent, so I'll make sure that you get this. There are some questions, and I think we should, think about what we would like from the league. And if it's, again, every year, I think I think about whether it's worth belonging to the league. Today I went to their website. There's pretty much nothing. I couldn't even find information about
They didn't have any minutes up or anything like that.
the contest. Yeah. I can see the value of them keeping us informed of human rights events going on with other commissions. And I will make sure that I always either forward it to the whole commission or I'll bring it. But except for that, I don't know if you guys have any
Did
idea.
we ever look into the city of New Ulm actually wanting us to be in it, or is that up to us?
I think by when I arrived in the commission, we had always belonged to the league,
Right.
and we always had a liaison. But again, I think it's pretty much to us. If we find that it is worthwhile, that we get something out of it, or that it's useful to our work, we come to the question of whether the same issues apply to a smaller community than some of the commissions that are in the Twin Cities. I think some of them will.
Wasn't it always if we weren't members, we couldn't submit those essays up? Wasn't that another
That's
big
right.
reason for being a part of it?
That's
So our
right.
students could get the recognition
That's right.
they deserved. And
That's
that was
right.
Why we always belonged.
So for now, the fees have been paid, so we have, time to decide again. And maybe this would be a good thing to think about. What else can they do for us? What do we expect for? I think it's $100 we have to pay now for the membership. And along,
I think it would be interesting just to get some ideas from them too, to
And I think
promote
they-
human rights.
I think they have, there is something on their website about their mission and what they do. Not very much, but we'll have to see how they change or.
I suppose if you don't pay the $100, they would never send you any information about anything,
That-
right?
Probably not.
Yeah, okay.
Probably not. Yeah.
Is there
So-
something we should
Mhm.
fill out, in the
No,
next meeting?
everything Elisa actually observes,
Oh,
filled
okay,
everything.
okay.
The only thing that please provide us with any requests or suggestions of how the league could assist your commission in the coming year.
Okay.
That's it. So, and I'm assuming we can do that anytime that we feel like it, so we can maybe think about it and we can address that next meeting.
Is this the state commission then?
Yes, Well, this is a league. Basically, they ask any city that has a commission to join.
Okay.
They do have meetings. They sometimes discuss some of the issues going on with different commissions. Sometimes they do get a lot of, well, not a lot, but sometimes they do get complaints or questions themselves that they have to ask.
It's open to the public.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, and along those lines, I just got from Lisa upstairs, there's the Bloomington Human Rights Commission in conjunction with the League of Women Voters. They're hosting a screening and panel discussion, and it's called Bridge to the Ballot, Teaching the Selma to Montgomery Legacy and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And it's on Tuesday, March 8th at 7 p.m. in Bloomington Civic Plaza. So I think if any of the commissioners are interested, I already asked Lisa to email this to you directly. If anybody wants to go, I might go, but I don't know for sure yet. But I might attend.
That's
there a
through the
time?
league as well.
That's through no, this is through the Bloomington Human Rights Commission in conjunction with the League of Women Voters. So this is not the league. I think they're just letting us know that this is happening. And if you want this, you can take this because I have it. So any other comments about the league? I know that Commissioner Crable has a volunteer if we feel that it's worth it to be our liaison. Because we don't have one right now. Beth Burrows used to be, not anymore. And she said she would, perhaps we're going to talk about it. She would be willing to be the liaison with the league. And I think, like I said to Commissioner Franning when we met, in some ways I would prefer that maybe we go more to other human rights activities, and that the city pays anybody of us who wants to go at least the mileage, if not stays. But I would find that a lot more useful rather than, the league. So any other questions? So we'll table this until next. Is there everybody motion to table this?
I'm fine with it.
Okay, sounds good. Education Committee report. How Commissioner Wending?
How many, well, today is the due date
Right.
for everything, which is why I'm late, because I had to pick those up. I haven't had a chance to even look through there, but I know that there's many posters, there's essays, I don't know how many. And I know that there have been several that have been turned in to Lisa as well.
Cool.
But I didn't get back in town in time to get those, so.
So maybe the Education Committee can get together and look at them and decide, we have to get those adjudicated by when? When was the deadline for the?
The deadline for
the
the
essays?
state, I believe we gave ourselves a week, but I'll double check on that to make sure.
Okay.
So the posters aren't that big of a hurry, but the essay for
Mhm.
sure, we need to know by the time that we need to have it entered.
It sounds good. And there's one more there that Tom has over there.
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody submitted one. And,
The other thing too is we had discussed having people besides us or along with us from the community to help judge as well. So I don't know if anyone has talked to anyone. I know Beth Sletta said that she would be willing to do that from the
yeah,
from Jefferson.
two people, Professor Larry Sire from MLC would I'm sure he would be willing to, and Ingrid Lehman, she's a retired English teacher. Ingrid has helped in the past. She has helped adjudicate. So, and basically, I just want to make sure that you have enough people in short notice, because it has to be get done this week. This week, right?
Yeah,
And,
at the most we have a week. I'll double check on it, but I'm pretty sure it's next
Okay.
Monday that it's due.
Okay. So, and let me know. I'll be happy to
Okay.
talk to Larry and Ingrid if we need more, or maybe we have no.
Now, we won't have a chance then to meet as a committee after we have, this panel or whatever will look at them. Is that just, can we just agree to say that who the panel chooses, we can move on? Or do we need to somehow meet and make sure that we all agree? Or I'm not sure how that
I think
works.
that the committee should meet and see if you have enough judges, just
Okay.
between you. I'll be willing to do it as long as it's before Thursday, because I think I have to leave on Friday.
Okay. And any
Um,
of us can do that.
Mhm. Yeah,
I'm
so
gone.
You're gone. And, would you be willing to?
Sure, yep,
to-
just let me
So
know.
I think
We
maybe
could
we
do it
can-
before, yeah. I
Okay,
can
so
do
maybe
it.
just see when works for most
After the
people,
meeting,
and
we
we'll
can
do
talk
that
about it.
via
Mhm.
email. Will that work?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Sounds
right, so
good.
this week sometime.
That's great. Any other issues or anything else to discuss? Next is the events committee report, because the events committee met, and Commissioner Frenning, would you like to give a report of what we talked about?
Sure. We met on February 10th, myself, Tim, Karen, and Alma. And we made a couple changes to the criteria from the past award for the Human Rights Commission Award, the yearly one. The recipient of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission, the annual Human Rights Award, should be an individual activist, organization, or business in the New Ulm area that have worked towards social justice and have made a significant contribution to the preservation and advancement of human rights. The wording in that paragraph changed a little bit. We also talked about it doesn't necessarily have to be a New Ulm resident. It can be someone that was raised in New Ulm and has gone on to do other human rights things outside of the city of New Ulm. So it could be also a New Ulm native, not necessarily just someone that lives in New Ulm at the time. I think that's about it as far as the changes that we made to the criteria. And it sounds like the timetable is coming up. We're gonna put ads in the paper, and I'm not sure about online, but I know for sure there'll be an ad in the paper for the nominations for the Human Rights Award.
Yeah, I think any venue that we can advertise it, whether it's the radio, I mean, the paper, just anybody.
What have
can
we done in the
think-
past? Is it mostly newspaper or?
It has been in the newspaper mostly. Did we advertise it anywhere
I
else?
think that's on KNJ.
KNUJ, yeah. We sent a press release basically to the radio. And so this, I would like the whole commission to approve the change, the current criteria, at least the press release. And I think also we discussed that in the past it has come up whether a person who actually has a job in human rights is should be considered, and I think we pretty much agree that they should. And I did look at other awards from other cities, from other states, from other organizations, and they do consider people whose job basically includes human rights, like, disabled people working with disabled people, or, voting, whatever. And again, I like the commission to approve this, this criteria. And just from the point of view of our work for the events, so when we're gonna decide, we would like to have as much information as possible, like a bio. When somebody nominates, I said, well, I like nominate somebody, but we want to at least an idea what their accomplishments are, or a way of finding out, what they've done in the past. And I wonder if we should put that maybe in the press release.
I know we talked about having a short, like you said, a short bio or a short resume that kind of says, here's what this person has done,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 things, or, here's what they do on a regular basis, instead of just saying, this person's nominated, kind of here's why.
Could it be something that's in more of the form of like an application, like a job application, similar to that? Where we'd have to get all the information we need and then just have a section where it's an essay where they would talk about it, but we could also talk about, okay, where do they work, where do they, and just get some more bio information that way? Otherwise, when you leave it open-ended and just ask people,
Right.
you might not get it.
Yeah.
But if it's specifically
Uh-huh.
asked for, like our
Certain things.
essay contests and
Uh-huh.
our poster contests
Right.
have to have that entry form filled out, could it be something similar to that?
So kind
Okay.
of put the ball in their court almost,
Right.
tell us, what you've done, or, a little bit more
Mm-hmm.
detailed
Mhm.
information from them instead of, like you said, leaving it
Or
open-ended.
the person nominating them.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, because.
Tell us why this person should be nominated
Right.
and,
Right.
ask them some questions.
Because right now, we just ask for
Mhm.
essentially,
I
okay,
mean-
tell us why,
Yeah.
we aren't very specific on that.
Right.
And that would solve the problem of explaining to them what human rights are, or who
Mhm.
is,
Mhm.
what is human rights work as opposed to humanitarian work. So maybe we could incorporate that in the
Right,
press release.
application,
That's
Mhm.
what we need.
or on the application.
Yeah. Now, should we just ask them to nominate and then send them an application? Somebody wants to nominate somebody, give us a call.
Yeah, because I think
contact
it might
us.
get too long on
Right,
the
if
paper,
it's,
yeah.
Yeah.
Does that seem reasonable? And then they said, oh, here's the application, and they, at least they'll have to think about
Mhm.
why. Sounds good. Any other ideas?
We just want to make
Oh.
sure it's an easy process though too, because if there's too many
Yeah.
hoops to jump through, then we're not going to get anything.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that too in the
Yeah.
committee meeting, not making it too difficult for
Right.
nominating someone.
Mhm. And I think the other thing that we talked about is that we cannot have, if we cannot find anybody who meets that criteria, it's perfectly fine not to have an award. If does anybody want to talk about any of these points, or we can just have a motion to approve some of these changes or these criteria?
I'd like to say, I really like the idea that it can be a native and not just a current resident. That opens it up a lot.
I do too.
Yeah.
So we need a motion to approve some of these, some changes and some new criteria.
I'll make a motion to approve. Looks good.
I second it.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Who seconded it? I couldn't.
Me.
Okay. I think I know your voices.
And any ideas for the fall program or the program for this year? I don't know who I told. I know I met one of you, it might have been in the events committee, that I was approached by Donna Lambert from the United Way. And they want to do a program on trafficking, which is something that we and Commissioner Kribel brought it up. So maybe I would like to explore the possibility of having a joint program with the United Way. And Commissioner Kribel, would you be interested in spearheading that?
Sure,
Mm,
yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because that would be through Life Living Series then? Because that's
I-
what Donna Lambrecht works with, or not?
It might be.
Yeah,
It
'cause
might
that's
be.
United Way.
Yes,
That's,
yes.
they're always looking for speakers, which is
Uh-huh.
usually just now in the winter,
Right,
just finished.
right.
They just finished.
She might have mentioned that.
They had 3
Yeah.
programs this year.
Yeah.
Would they be looking for possibly a speaker?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, because I do have a friend that works for Homeland Security, and that's,
Yeah.
right now, that is where he,
Mm-hmm.
And Nicollet County just had a
Trafficking, yep.
big trafficking.
Did you go to that?
I did not. It was during work.
so I'm sure he would be interested in.
Yeah, and
speaking.
maybe you guys, the two of you, could coordinate and talk to Donna, and I'll tell them to expect a call. If you need, she's in United Way, so you can easily find her. But
She's
I
at the
have her
store I went
number.
to.
Mhm.
She's at Lambrecht's.
yeah,
Lambrecht.
Lambert. Yeah, she's at the Lynn House. Their offices are at the Lynn House.
Oh, I didn't
So
know.
I thought that would be a really good way of, and I like partnering with other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. What else? Okay, any other ideas for fall program or anything else? Okay, chair's report. I don't have too much of a report. Don't forget to go and vote at your caucus on March 1st, on Tuesday. Tonight, the League of Women Voters, we're having a panel discussion, well, it's a book discussion. We got several books. I didn't bring them with me. It's basically about the division in politics right now, what's going on, and the big divide in ideologies and in parties and stuff like that. It should be very interesting if you can make it today at 6:30. And the Bloomington thing, which I already told you about, for the Bloomington Human Rights Commission. And if I decide to go, I'll make sure that Lisa contacts everybody if anybody wants to go or carpool or go. And I guess that's it. I don't know how many of you in here are all the residents of Neom. The League of Women Voters is looking for people who served in the League of Women Voters in previous years or when, since they started, and they have any information. So I'd like to mention it so that people see this meeting, and if they know of anybody, old aunts, mothers, grandmothers that were involved with the League of Women Voters in Neom, we would like them to contact the League, if possible. So I guess that's it. Anybody else has any other thing to bring up? We'll be meeting again on March 28th of 2016, if that's convenient for everybody, and we can adjourn if I can have a
I make a
motion.
motion.
to adjourn.
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll adjourn.